What's going on, everybody? I want to go ahead and say I am glad to be back in the new year in Final Fantasy XIV, where we are messing around once again with the PvP. In light of the new PvP event that is going on currently, I decided I would go ahead and put out a healing guide. Now, I know I've told you guys before that I am a healing main, and I don't think I've ever showed you guys any footage of me actually healing anything. I think I just kind of play DPS and stroke my ego a little bit, but I think this time I'm gonna show you guys a real treat of me playing a little bit of Scholar and Feast. And from this video, I'm gonna make a guide and teach some of the new players out there how you should heal and what are some priorities and the best way to go about it and how to have fun with it. So I hope you guys enjoy, and we're gonna get right ahead into it. So the first thing I want to point out is that as soon as I got into this match, I was actually queued as a Dark Knight. I was just, playing Dark Knight to see if I could have some fun with it and see if there's any way for me to play well on it. Pretty awful at it, but, you win some, you lose some. So, I look over at the party list, and I immediately notice that we have no healers. And obviously, that's a problem. If you like being healed, you need some healers on your team. So, as a healer main, I would say that I am to a certain extent obligated to do my best and heal. So I switch. So I guess now would be a good time to point out that the first thing you want to do when you get into a match is look at your party composition. If there is anything that is missing or lacking on your team, try to fill that role. Having a team full of 8 DPS is probably not going to win against a well-rounded team of 2 tanks, 2 healers, and 4 DPS. Because I was unsure of whether or not I would be getting a co-healer, I decided to go with Scholar. Mostly because it's my favorite healing class and the one I'm most comfortable with, but secondly because I know that EOS is very reliable. I've used her for a plethora of things in PvE and PvP, and I know that in situations where I can't heal by myself, she is a very good backup healer. Now this is where I'm going to slow things down for you while I play. The first thing I did when I ran in is decided to place EOS at a specific location that I know that I personally cannot stand at. I like to place EOS directly in the middle, sort of towards the front line so that she can handle healing the tank on her own. This is very beneficial because most players overlook pets. If I'm standing out there by myself, what will end up happening is I'll get focused down and killed. The next thing that I do, once I realize that I have been noticed and am taking damage, I began working on finding a way to break line of sight with the summoner that is dropping quite a bit of damage on top of me. Now this is where things get a little bit dicey. I have stepped out from behind the wall and I'm in clear view of the entire enemy team, and they take this opportunity to try and focus me down. Using my PvP abilities, which should be on your bar if you're doing PvP, I decide to use attunement, which reduces all incoming damage and increases my evasion to the point where they can't hit me. And I just trust my team to take care of anyone that's still focusing me afterwards. My health gets extremely low here. I think it goes down to like maybe 1 or 2 digits, but I managed to pull it back. EOS is still firmly planted up on the top part, even after I've jumped down to run away and heal myself. This is why she is so wonderful in this particular situation. Throughout the video, you will notice that many players that I'm playing with have died. Obviously, it's because I can't keep everyone in the game alive. And that's actually not my goal as a healer in Feast. My goal is to keep the priority targets alive and make sure that we have the correct amount of medals in order to win. So, what I will tell people who are new to Feast and new to healing it especially is that don't get tilted over dying or letting your teammates die. Sometimes it happens, and the best thing you can do is make the best out of that situation. If they've died, try to make sure that when they get back up, give them a stone skin, protect, whatever you gotta do, and make sure they can get back into the fight without any problems. Because the rest of this video is mostly me exploding positionals and line of sight, I'm going to now just sort of talk about how you should be using your adrenaline rush, or the limit break, as you know, as it's called in PvE. For the most part, your limit break is how you handle responding to other limit breaks. It's really good if your entire party is taking a lot of damage. Obviously, because it's a healer limit break, it'll heal everyone by 50% of their health, I believe. So what you want to do is, if you see that everyone's at maybe like 75% or 50% or something like that, you want to use your limit break, and you want to make sure that you're not just sitting on it all game. And I say this because your limit break is a resource. You always want to make sure that your adrenaline rush is building. You don't ever want to just be sitting on your maximum adrenaline rush, because that's not efficient. You always want it to be building, and you want to be using it when available in situations where it's needed. Don't use it crazily. Don't just use it whenever you feel like it. Use it when you feel like it's necessary. There are no such things as bad limit breaks for a healer, but there are such things as limit breaks that could be better. So with that, there's not much else I can actually say about this video. I hope that you have learned a little bit from just watching me play and kind of getting the feel for it. I hope that you see how my hotbars are set up, where I have my target and what I'm targeting in front of my hotbars, and then like the party list to the side, so that I can easily see what's going on in the match, and also see what's going on to my party without having to like turn my camera or do anything crazy. I have a long list of rows for my hotbars that kind of show priority of which I should be using. Obviously I have my heals on 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then I have my buffs on shift 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then my DPS abilities, because I don't really care that much about DPSing, especially not in Feast. I have those on my third row for alt buttons. So that's all I can really say. I hope that this video has been sort of enlightening and helpful. I want to say thank you very much for watching. I'm not going to say anything else for the rest of this video. I want you to just kind of sit and watch it, and I hope you enjoy it. So take care. If you like the video, leave a like, maybe subscribe. That helps me out greatly. And thank you.